Hi, this is Dennis Morgan for WZLP LP Radio in Loudonville, and this is a quick tutorial on the new COMREX digital system that we're using for remote broadcast. So this video is intended for the remote broadcasters. Typically it's going to be sports broadcasters, but also for the fair or anywhere else that WZLP does a remote broadcast. We have begun using the COMREX system in the fall of 2019. So this is the system that you all will know of that we've started using here recently. This is the case that the COMREX system comes into. And inside this case, there's going to be a cheat sheet, this document here that's going to be laminated and going to be stuck inside. And I'm going to reference this cheat sheet as I'm doing this quick video. All right, so first, what do you need to do a remote broadcast? You're going to open up the case for the COMREX, and inside there's a few items. First is the Jetpack MiFi hotspot unit. It looks like this right here. Additionally, in this box, if needed, there is a charger. This is a cell phone type charger, exactly the same kind of charger that you would use on your own personal cell phone. This is the COMREX unit itself. You'll notice it's got knobs and dials and buttons, very similar to the Marty system that we used to use. It has an antenna with a USB plug, and this antenna goes right up here at the top or the back, depending on your perspective, and plugs into that space. And it goes in pretty easily, so you'll notice how I'm having to turn it over to see which way. If it doesn't go in easy one way, you turn it over and try the other way, but it'll plug in right in this USB port here, and you want to go ahead and just stand it up like that. Additionally, there is a power cable for the COMREX unit. The plug for the power cable goes right here on the back or the top, depending on your perspective. And again, it will only go one way. You may have to try a few different ways to find the direction that it goes in. I'm going to plug this in over here. I've got a plug nearby. So we plug in the power to the COMREX unit. And the third thing you're going to need is the headsets. These are the exact same headsets that we used with the Marty unit. They're the Sennheiser headsets for remote broadcasting. They have two plugs on them. So to set this unit up, what you want to do first is turn the Jetpack MiFi hotspot on first. And so if you're looking at the screen here, right up here is a power button. What you do is just press and hold that power button for about 6 seconds, and you'll see that it will come on. And when it does come on, it'll bring up a screen, and over here it will say Wi-Fi on. And Wi-Fi on is important. If that says Wi-Fi off, you have to go turn that on. And the way you do that, if this was to say Wi-Fi off, you press Menu, Wi-Fi, and then this little slider button here needs to be off, turned on. So I just turned it off to show you what it looks like off. Just press that. It's turning it on. It does take a moment. And now it's on. You can press this home button right here, and you'll see that the display says Wi-Fi on. So you turn that on first. Also take a look at the battery icon. If the battery is pretty full, it's at 92% on the unit right now. That's more than enough to do a ball game. And so you don't have to do anything further. But if the battery was low, I would say less than 30 or 40%, you can plug it in using the cell phone type charger. The port is right on the very bottom. And just like a cell phone, this can operate while it's plugged in. So you just connect it here, put this end into the 120 outlet, and let it just sit and operate. So what that's doing is that's using the cell network to provide a Wi-Fi internet connection for the COMREX unit. Next, I'm going to turn the COMREX unit around for the camera. Right here is the power button. Press and hold the power button for 3 seconds, and you'll see COMREX comes up. Sorry, I guess maybe I didn't hold it long enough. There it is. I'm going to cut to that. And this is the COMREX starting up then. And this takes a moment. You want to be patient. It'll say just a moment here, but there's some things that have to happen. The COMREX unit has to boot up. It has to then connect to the Wi-Fi jetpack, which I can see now it has just done. We've just got an alert on the jetpack that it's connected. And then it needs to get to this point here. So once it's set up, this is the home screen. And you'll notice on this home screen, there are 3 that say for test, for test, for test. And then right down here is station WZLP. That is the studio. So once you've gotten to this point, all you have to do is touch station WZLP. You'll see that it's now highlighted in blue. And then over here on the right is a connect button. You press the connect button. You'll see that it says it's requesting the call, meaning it's attempting to connect with the station. And now we are connected with the station. You'll see right down below there, it says connected. So we are now connected with the station. This unit is now ready to broadcast, except for one thing: your headphone connections. You still have to put your headsets in. Unlike the old Marty system, it doesn't matter when you connect this. I have been setting this up just like this, where I get it connected and make sure it's all working, and then I connect the headset. On the left side is number 1, and just like on the old Marty unit, it's got 2 port connections. Number 2 is over on the right side. Typically we have 2 broadcasters, so 1 and 2 is their channels, and we're now broadcasting at the station, and the station is now controlling whether we're on the air or not on the air, but we're connected to the station and they are receiving us, and we will be able to hear them. All right, so before I move on, I want to go over what some of these items are on the COMREX unit. So I'm going to ask the camera to come in here closer, and I'm just going to go through what each of these are. You'll see here on the left side, near where I plugged in the microphones for the headset I have, in port number 1, or input 1 is technically what it's called. There is the knob here that is the volume knob to the studio, and you'll notice it is flashing green because it's picking me up. It's picking up that I am speaking here, and you'll notice that it's green, and then as I speak normally I can make it yellow, and I can even make it red by making the microphone very close to me. Green is going to be the most common color you're going to see. Yellow is borderline too loud. Red is way too loud. The way to set this is get your headset on and speak like you normally do. And you'll notice as I have it set right now, it's giving me some yellow, a little bit of red. The best place to be is where when you're speaking normally, like you're going to for the broadcast, if you're getting a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green. I've been setting it to where I get a lot of yellow like that, and then just backing it off a slight amount. So I'm getting some yellow, some green. we have figured out that at the station, if we're set at that level, that gives the best sound quality back at the station. The second knob I want to point out is the one up here on the top, and it's marked as local. And what local is just like on the Marty unit, we had a knob for the volume in your headset of what you hear from all the headsets that is connected to the unit. Meaning, this is the volume for what you hear from the other broadcasters that are with you, including yourself. So this is only adjusting the volume in your headset for the people that are connected to this COMREX using headsets. What is new and different for those of you that have used the Marty system in the past is this return knob. And what the return knob is, the COMREX system has a talkback feature. And what that is, the studio can talk to us in the headphones without it being on the air, which is a really cool feature. In the past, with the Marty unit, whoever was back at the studio would have to take us off the air, speak to us, tell us what they needed us to do, and then put us back on the air. With this talkback feature, we can hear what's going on at the studio, and the studio can speak directly to us, and everything they say, not on the air. It is only going to be in our headsets. So a good example, I'm really bad at forgetting to read the sponsors. So the person back at the studio, without taking me off the air, without interrupting me, can just say in the talkback through this return channel, hey, Dennis, you need to say the sponsors, and that'll remind me to get that done, but the person back at the studio never had to take me off the air. It's also really handy in that because it's connected to a microphone at the studio that's always live and open, we can hear everything going on. Typically, like at a basketball game, when we would come back 2 minutes before the end of halftime, sometimes we'd pick up the headsets and put them on and we couldn't hear anything. And so it made it really unclear. Were we still connected? Were we not connected? With this talkback return feature, we can hear what's going on at the studio. So we may hear there's activity going on. We can hear whatever they happen to be broadcasting. And we may know, oh, okay, well, whoever is back at the studio is not in the room at the moment, and we'll just hang out until they come back. So really cool feature there that'll make our broadcasting a lot easier. I mentioned earlier, this is the power button. This is the F1 button and F2 button. F1 button is one that you're going to want to use in the field. F2 you won't use very much, but I'll talk about what it is. F1 brings up this screen right here, and what's really important is you'll see each of the channels, and they have them physically located where they are. So 1 is here, 2 is over here, and then 3 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there, 6 is there. And there are mute and unmute checkboxes in there. If the mute checkbox is checked, your microphone on that channel is muted. So if I press that now, input 1 is muted. And if you look at my input 1 knob, I'm not going to get anything coming in, even though I'm speaking into the microphone directly. As soon as I double touched it there, sorry, as soon as I unmute it, you can see now there's signal coming across. So while you're broadcasting, once you've made your connection here and you're connected to the studio, that's all done. You can just press F1 and now you have the same controls that we did on the Marty unit, where you can mute yourself by pressing the green button or turning the green button off. This is the equivalent. I'm muted, now I'm unmuted. So one of the first things you're going to do if you're having difficulty with a microphone doesn't appear to be working, come here to this screen and see if you are muted. So that's F1. That's how you get there. If you want to get back to that connections screen, it's over here. It's the home screen, or the home button here takes you to the home screen, which is your remote connection screen. F2, what it does, it just scrolls through several different pages, including the page that F1 goes to, but it's really more for more detailed changes that you'd want to make. It's the sort of things that you just would not normally do in a remote broadcast. So that's what F2 is. Same here. This is just a go backwards one step button. Again, probably won't use that very often in the field, but a good example of where you might use it is if you were here on your main home screen, the remote connection screen, you pressed F1, you could press that to go back. But if you were scrolling through here on F2, all it's going to do is take you back to the previous one that you were on. And then this is the menu screen, and same thing. This is for making changes to the settings of the COMREX unit. You're not going to get into this, use that button very often out in the field for a remote broadcast. It's mostly going to be the home screen that takes you here to these remote connections, and the F1 screen that takes you where you can mute or unmute. One other thing here, you have the ability to mute all right there on that button, mute all. So also make sure that's not checked if you're having difficulty with a microphone. Okay. Now, when you're done with the remote broadcast, when you're all finished and how you're going to shut this down, first of all, touch the home button so you get back to your connections list. You'll see station WZLP is still highlighted and it says it's connected. The first thing you do is disconnect. So it's now local disconnect. That's what that means is I'm local, I'm here at this unit, and I disconnected the unit. It's now ready to turn off. So you press and hold the power button here for 3 seconds, and you'll see it says it's powering down. Please wait. When it completely powers down, remove the antenna, remove your headsets. And by the way, there is a push button here on the side on each of the XLR connections so that you can release that. They don't just pull out like they did on the Marty unit. And remove the power. And this unit is then ready to pack away. You also need to shut off the Verizon Jetpack MiFi unit. And to do that, press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. This screen will come up, power off. Shut down is highlighted with a red dot. All you have to do is say okay, and the MiFi is powering off. You then pack the MiFi back into the Verizon box along with its power cord. And we are currently placing this, we're leaving it in the Verizon box, and we're stowing that in the COMREX box there. The COMREX unit fits in this side here. The antenna, we're just stowing down in the storage area over on the right side. And the power cable, we're just winding that up carefully and stowing that over here on the right side as well. Close it down, and it's ready to go. The headsets, we're still using the same black bag that we used with the Marty unit. So you just stow these in the black bag as usual. Also still in the black bag is the extension cord for basketball. There's still the score books and pencils and those kind of items. You will definitely see in here a laminated version of this document to help you. And basically all I did was follow this document along in this video step by step on how to set this up. And this will be laminated and in here as well. And we'll probably put a copy of this in the black bag as well. I hope this helps. The COMREX unit does work really well. It works better than the Marty unit did. The quality of sound is great, and we hope that we've made it easy to operate and set up in the field. Thanks for watching.